What is going on, beautiful people? Lee Hammock, your favorite. You can't have a favorite. Diagnosed self-aware narcissist here with another episode of the Narcissist Code / Mental Healness podcast, y'all. Today, we're talking about narcissistic mothers, the infamous narcissistic mother. Now, I know when most of y'all hear the term motherhood, you think of unconditional love, sacrifice, somebody being there for you, a safe space and whatnot. But narcissistic mothers tend to be your first predator, your first bully, right? Because they don't sacrifice. They don't give you unconditional love. Everything from a narcissistic mom is transactional. It absolutely is. It's a tool. Like today, I'm going to give you the perspective of a narcissistic parent and how narcissists view you, especially a narcissistic mother, how they view you, why that narcissistic mother treats her sons and daughters differently, and why you feel like you're dying every time you try to set a boundary. Oof. Y'all, first of all, shout out to the young lady who recommended this topic to me on Instagram Live. I went Instagram Live yesterday, and she's like, can you do a video on narcissistic mothers? So I expect her to comment on this and say, hey, it's me. Because if you don't, no more recommendations. None. No, I'm just joking. But I appreciate her just saying, hey, do a content on narcissistic mothers. So in today's video, y'all, we're going to talk about narcissistic mothers, how they treat their daughters, how they treat their sons, and how they treat their kids overall, y'all. And let's hop right into it, man. Let's just, y'all know I like to keep it hot and ready, like a Little Caesars pizza, right? The truth is, narcissistic mothers very rarely, if ever, see their children as actual people. They very rarely, a pathological narcissistic mom doesn't see their children as an actual person. They see them as a functional tool, as a functional object, as something to help them gain and gather more narcissistic supply. And I know that sucks to hear, right? I'm not saying that they have the inability to love you, because I love my children, right? Even before I got diagnosed as a narcissist, I still love my kids. I really, really did. But narcissistic mothers, especially the unaware ones, the ones that are not trying to take accountability, the ones that are doing this, doing that, they typically don't see you as a functional human being. They don't see you as a person with your own autonomy. They see you as what serves them. You know what I mean? So as a narcissist, like if I were to put myself in the shoes of your narcissistic mother, what I see, everything that you do is a reflection of me. Simply put, everything you do is a reflection of your narcissistic mother. That's why they see the world the way they see it, right? They see, like I said, you see their car, their house, everything is a reflection of them. They see you as an extension of them. If you are doing well, if you're the star athlete, the straight A student, the funny kid, the kid that everybody loves, the pretty child, you are the trophy. You are the trophy, right? They will walk you around and show you off like a prize. Not because they're proud of you, but because they are proud of their own parenting. They are proud of you because they're proud of themselves. Look at a good job that I did. You're only this way because I raised you. Look at all the sacrifices I made. You are mine. And you look, y'all see? Yeah, she won a trophy. Because of me, because of my parenting. Yeah, the only reason because they won because of me. How many times, if y'all have a narcissistic mother, how many times has that happened to you? Drop a thumbs up in the comment section. But like, there's a flip side of that, right? There's a flip side of having a narcissistic mother. Once the second that you start to disappoint them or make them look bad, the second you get sick or have a mental health episode or a struggle or something like that, God forbid, you got a personality trait that they don't approve of. You go from trophy to a problem. You go from trophy to problematic. Remember I said they see you as an extension of their arm? Now you are necrotic arm. Now you're necrosis. Now you're necrotic. They got to cut you off to save the rest of themselves, right? Like, so to a narc mother, when you become problematic, when the world or they start seeing your flaws, you become an inconvenience to them. Like I said, sometimes they'll cut you off. Like, if you are crying, you're being dramatic. You know, if you're hurt, you're trying to steal the spotlight. You are never allowed to just be you, just to have something happen to you. You are not allowed to do that. You had to earn your keep when you're dealing with a narcissistic parent. That's the way it goes right there, y'all. Seriously, if you were the trophy or the problem, drop it in the comment section. Y'all drop a trophy or a problem in the comment section if you are resonating with the narcissistic mother stuff right here, right? Because as you keep moving on, like I said earlier, they treat their daughters and their sons differently. First, we're going to tackle the daughters, then we're going to tackle the sons. All right? Got it? We're going to talk specifically about daughters right now. Sons are coming later because the narcissist, I'm going with the daughters first because this relationship dynamic tends to be very, very brutal, right? And this is going to suck because a narcissistic mother often sees her own daughter through the lens of envy and jealousy. Very rarely do they see them with heart eyes, right? They see them with the angry eyes. You know the little movies where they have the little flaming eyes, the little fire eyes? That's how they see your daughters, right? When you are little, you might be their little mini-me. They might dress you just like them. They might dress you like a doll. That sometimes they live vicariously through their mini-me's, right? They treat you how they wanted to grow up. They force you into things that you might not like, but they wanted to do, they might not never got a chance to do. And that's what ends up happening, right? But as soon as you start growing up and hit puberty, as soon as you start getting your own attention, your own personality, your own beauty, that you might not look like them, they might see you as looking better than them, which is weird. In your own life, the switch flips. They start looking at you different. You become a threat. Imagine looking at your baby as a threat because that's what they do. Suddenly, you go from being the mini-me, the best friend, to a competitor. Your narcissistic mother starts competing with you as their own daughter. This is crazy. They will subtly sabotage your self-esteem. They will attack you from the inside out. They'll make little sly comments about your weight, your clothes, your friends, your hair, your eyes, your teeth, your freckles, whatever it can be to mess with you, right? They want to make you feel small. They want to keep you small so they can feel big, right? They're compare and contrast you all the time. Let's say you're 13, 14 years old, they'll compare you to them when they were 13, 14. When I was 13 and 14, I looked better than you, which is weird to say. I was already an adult. I already had a job. I already did this. I already did that. I've seen this is going to sound horrible right here. I've seen narcissistic mothers flirt with their daughters' boyfriends or their husbands just to prove they still got it. And sometimes you see the off example that sometimes the narcissistic mom ends up sleeping with their daughter's husband or boyfriend and ruining their own families. Those stories are real. Look them up. This is crazy. Like narcissistic mother doesn't want you to be more successful than her, but she wants you to be successful enough to make her look good. It's like, I'm sure, I promise you, it's kind of like a damn near, it's kind of like a trap, right? Don't be like what's that? Embarrassing, Goldilocks. It's kind of like Goldilocks. You don't be too successful, but don't be too failure prone either. Don't be too average. Just stay just right. Not too hot, not too cold, just right, just in the middle, so they feel like they can control you. She wants to be the sun, and she wants you to be the moon that only shines when she's allowed. She wants you to reflect her light, not have your own self-sustaining light source. That is crazy. It's hard growing up with a narcissistic mother when you are her daughter. Trust me. I understand that, and that's why I'm just trying to like raise awareness for that right there. Now we switch the topic hop. Now we put topic hop to the narcissistic mother and her sons. Woo. My boys, or my male identifying folks, your trap is gonna be a little different, right? You might get the emotional Pincestral. You might get the most emotional Pinterest. It's like that. You might get the emotional INCEST. A narcissistic mother often treats her son like a surrogate partner. If she's unhappy with her husband or her boyfriend, or if she's single, she will pour all of her emotional needs into her baby boy, her beautiful bouncing golden boy. You are the one who has to listen to her problems. You become her emotional dumping ground. Your adult mom, you become her emotional dumping ground. You're the one who has to defend her horrible behaviors to your girlfriend, to your other family members, to your other siblings, to your wife, to your own children. You have to defend her. You are the man of the house before you even had enough time to grow up. You might be an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old man of the house. That's crazy. Your narcissistic mother may very well put you, and this is not going to be the same for everybody, right? Different sons who had narcissistic mothers are going to get different results. But this is just me speaking, just like in generalities, in the most likely scenario, right? Your narcissistic mother, my boys, they're going to put you on a pedestal. They're going to tell you you're the only man who will ever truly love her. It feels good at first, right? You're going to feel proud when you're a little boy growing up. Like, I'm protecting my mama. You're going to feel like a superhero, right? But it's not a superpower. They're putting a leash on you. They're putting a leash on you to make you feel like they're always going to need you. They make you feel super needy. The narcissistic mothers will always make you feel like you have to commit to being there for them for the rest of their lives in any way, shape, or form that they require, right? The second, and this is why they attack your partners. The second you grow up and you bring another woman home, man, that's when the monster, y'all seen that Jennifer Lopez movie, Monster-in-Law? That's when the monster-in-law comes out. She doesn't see your girlfriend as a partner for you. She sees her as the thief who is stealing her property, who's trying to take her man away, which is crazy. She will find every flaw that your girlfriend, or you'll be like, it could be your boyfriend. You can have a boyfriend, right? Your girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whoever, they're going to find every flaw. They're going to nitpick. They're going to devalue. They're going to do a lot of different things subtly and passive aggressively and play the victim when it's called out. They're going to start rumors about your partners. They're going to play the victim every time you choose your spouse over them. Like, they want you enmeshed into their life. Like, they don't want you to go anywhere. Like, your narcissistic mother wants you to be her hero until the day that she passes away. And she will burn your entire life down to make sure you never leave her side, which is tough. I thought to so many, when I'm doing some of my one-on-ones over Zoom, I thought to so many partners who their husbands are not narcissists. They just have a narcissistic mother who does exactly what I'm talking about right here. There's one woman I talked to years ago. She said her husband the narcissistic mom would take baths and the husband would be in the bathroom sitting on the toilet. I'm like, that's gross as hell. But that's how she was raised. This is not weird. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I always sit in the bathroom when my mom takes a bath. What? That's why it's crazy, y'all. The reason this is so hard to heal from is because that voice is always in your head. You feel guilty. Y'all heard the term FOG, the acronym FOG, fear, obligation, and guilt. This is what part of it, right? Read that book first. There's a book called Out of the Fog by Dana Morningstar. Read that book. It's a powerful book. But when you look in the mirror and think I'm not enough, or I'm not good enough, or I'm selfish for wanting a day off, that's not you talking. That's your mom's programming. Your narcissistic mother, that's her programming. She built that internal critic within your mind, inside of your head, that stays there long after you move out, long after you leave, long after she passes away. You feel guilty for setting boundaries with your mom because she trained you. Your narcissistic mother trained you to believe that love equals submission, that love equals access. If you don't give me what I want, you don't love me, right? If you don't give her if you don't submit to your mom or give her untethered, unlimited access, you aren't loving her, right? You're a horrible son. You're a bad boy, or a bad mom, or bad daughter, because that's your mom, right? This is crazy, man. And I really hate anybody who has a narcissistic parent because it's tough as hell to deal with. It really, really is. You know what I mean? But as a narcissist, like that guilt again. That guilt you might feel is a lie. It's programmed. It's false guilt. I call it false guilt. It's a tool to keep that narcissistic mother or parent in your life for a long time. You're not bad for wanting a life that is free of their control. You're just waking up. And it's tough to wake up. When you wake up and understand what you went through and why you might be in your own toxic relationship with a narcissistic partner, that can be crazy too. I might do another video on how narcissistic mothers can team up with your narcissistic partner and perpetuate the cycle of abuse in your relationship, because that does happen, right? But anyways, y'all, if you're in New York City and you want to ask questions face to face about your narcissistic mother and parenting and co-parenting and stuff like that, make sure to get registered for my in-person Q&A in New York City on June the 2nd at mentalhealness.net/events, or you can find a link in the description. Go to mentalhealness.net, scroll to the bottom, get registered, and whatnot. And I will see y'all in New York City. Make sure I hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Helps reach more people. And as always, y'all, Mental Healness is out. Peace.